To take a break so you can get the Blu-ray.
Your dad don't want me to put blue in it.
Why, you gonna say that when he's here?
Why? You don't want him to hear?
Mr. Daddy.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water. But first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink. Now, grab your glass for that water. Get your container of that water. Lift the container of the water. Hopefully it's copper. Simply pour some water. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now, move your body and drink some water. Oh, stretch. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Family, move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, move, move, then drink. Now, raise your glass and toast your ancestors. What? Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, huh? Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Now, take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. But to stay healthy, family, this is why we do it. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Drink half your weight in ounces. Eat a culturally appropriate diet. But anyway, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Oh, toast the ancestors. Break down. Drink, 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 drink. Drink up. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Drink. Drink, drink, drink. Drink your water. All right, family, we are up. We are live. I want to thank all those new subscribers we got. I don't know how many people are online right now checking us out. I sent out the black signal. If you want to get on the black signal, text, listen, the letters G-N-J to the number 456. Once again, text the letters GNJ to the number 25456 or click the bell. If you are watching this on YouTube, I don't know what you could click on Facebook. It's got to be something you could click on Facebook to make sure that when we are streaming, we are up. We do the Daily Toast every day. On the weekends, you got to catch me when you can. But Umoja through Nia family, you can catch me somewhere between 5:15 and 5:30, I think. Somewhere around there. So I'm getting things set up. Because, it's a one-man band around here. Even though Gye-Nyame is growing, I still got to do the daily show by myself. Well, that's cool. Brother Fred Cox, I see you out there. Thank you for joining us. I am just now returning from the ADOS conference. And man, oh man, the energy is brewing around the country. I made a bunch of contacts. And on top of that, our YouTube channel has jumped up by about 30 people. I am impressed. I was able to go and share some ideas and get some ideas because, that's the major reason you go to a conference. Yes, you go to listen to the speakers. Yvette Carnell did an excellent job. Brother Tone did his thing. Dr. Cornell West did his thing. We had people coming in and they turned out and got information out. But one of the major reasons that I go is to connect with other like-minded people, sit down, and chop it up. You know what I'm saying? What's going on where you from? You know what I'm saying? What are some of the initiatives that you are pushing forward? And one of the things that I spoke about this on my little live yesterday when I got back in town. One of the things that one of the ideas that came across through a young man, they were actually doing it. I had the thought, but I didn't put it in action. So I want to give, I didn't take pen and pencil. I didn't take as many pictures as I should of other ADOS family members, but so that I could remember some of the stuff that they said. But this young brother from Detroit said that their chapter started collecting data within their city, a survey. And the question that I have for the family that's listening in is, if we were to create a survey, what type of information would you like on it? Now, Brother Hatip, what we need a survey for. Now, this will be an anonymous survey that will be sent out, of course, over the Black Signal, of course, put up on all of our channels so that our family can do it, because we got a reach of maybe 1,000 or so that we could go and reach out to. But what I want to find out is, what are the numbers for our tribe? I'm talking about the economic numbers. I'm talking about the political numbers. You know what I'm saying? Is numbers that we need to look at. For example, one number that I throw out a lot on the show is that, according to the numbers, the wealth of the black family, the median wealth of the black family is $1,700. Now, nationally, these are the numbers. What are the numbers for us locally? How many of the people that are in our circle are wrestling with homelessness or battling Uber conference is on. I am so sorry. Let me go on the turn. I'm so glad Sister Tiandra got on there. I am sorry. I am late. And I need to make sure that I turn on my speaker so that my speaker can do what it does. Hold on for a second, Miss Tiandra. Snowball speaker. I have to do this. I have to Bluetooth on. JBL Extreme. Turn it on. Join conference. Don't look like they're gonna let me on my own conference. All right, I'm up.
This call is being recorded.
Sister Tiandra's on here. Oh, by the way, family, we are now able to have video conferences on what we use right now. So I'm really excited about the direction we're going in. It's cost me an arm and a leg, but hell, you know what I'm saying? Let's go on in. Let's pop it off. Let's pop it off. So, you don't believe in what you do, nobody else is gonna believe in what you do. So, Sister Tiandra, can you hear me? Is it clear? I think she's just listening because she might be traveling.
Yes, I can hear you. It's clear.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm not to put on mute, but I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. So, family.
Hopefully, I can join in a little later.
Okay, cool. So, what we're gonna do? Of course, you know we're gonna do the toast. I'm gonna do my little intro and stuff like that, and get it popping off. Let's see how we doing on Restreamio is not acting right. We're having some problems with the stream. Come on now. So you invest in all these platforms and they start falling short on you. You can't, you know, what can you say? What can you say? You're like, you know, get y'all shit together. Get your shit together. I'm living the ADOS life. I got to make sure everything is working. So the issue today is I'm asking the question, what type of questions should we put on a survey that we circulate amongst our community here? Because it's important that we know where we are. Where we are. Being conscious about knowing where you are, when you are, why you are. You know what I'm saying? Being awoke. You know what I'm saying? When you wake up, the first thing you look around to see is if you are in the same place that you were when you fell asleep. You look at the time. You know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why you got to get up, and you remember why you got to get up, and you get up and move. So being woke, being conscious is about knowing when, where, and why. When, where, and why are we as a community, as a tribe here in Central Ohio? Where are we? Are the numbers, do the numbers match? You know what I'm saying? Or is Brother Hatim delusional about some of the stuff that I see? Because hell, I've been wrong before. So what type of questions should we be asking those people around us? Need help getting the video? Go to let me help you out real quick. I'm about to get on there too. So you can go to GNJmedia.live. Once again, that's GNJmedia.live. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. I'm live on. We're not on Periscope no more. I don't know what happened to Periscope, but I wasn't getting a lot of people viewing us on Periscope anyway, so that's cool too. I want to welcome you. This is our Imani Toast and Talk. So, Brother Fred, if you want to get the video, GNJmedia.live. All right. Now, also, when you go to that, you can hit up the tip jar to show us some support. There's a tip jar right up at the top. Say tip. You're gonna tip us, and I want to see who's gonna be the first one to go on and get something popping off in that glass, because I want to see how those effects look. So also we also have merch on the site, so be sure to support us. I will post all that stuff up right before we go into the toast. We got the G&J merch. We got and also family. Remember, check out our e-course, our free e-course, free 7-day e-course. You would go to I'm gonna post it up. Because a lot of times I'll be saying the stuff and I'll be saying it too fast. So we will just post it up, so there will be no problems, and people can get right to it and be like, hey, Brother Hatim, hey, I saw the e-course and I liked it, or Brother Hatim, I didn't like the e-course. You know what I'm saying? Either way, it's cool. I just want to make sure that I am doing my part. In the e-course, On day 1, we talk about unleashing the power of the Nguzi Sapa. Day 2, understanding how to use folktales and myths and legends. Day 3, wisdom mining. Day 4, power of libations. Day 5, pulling it all together. Day 6, the power of meditation. I introduced you to a system called meditation by the numbers. And day 7, we talk about the 224 self-help process and 21-day Nguzi Saba challenge. So let me go on and post all this up real quick. Then we get into the toast, and then we get to our conversation. Yes, y'all. And you don't stop. I'm gonna post it on here. All right, cool. Let's pull up the merch. Thank you for bearing with me as we move through this. Oh, let me post it up on. All right. So now that's enough of that. Let's go on and do this toast real quick. Then we get into some of the other discussion. What questions would you like to be answered on a survey if we were to do a survey? If we were to do a survey, all right? Because it's important. Like I said, we got to know what we are. And then also, I think it might be useful to know what talents we have available to us. Because part of the mission of Gye-Nyame is to help people find what it is they have mastered or what they're working on mastering and finding ways of applying that. Right? Because a lot of times you see people trying to do stuff that they were not, in a sense, born to do. You know what I'm saying? You got people taking roles and taking on responsibilities that they're not really good at, which a lot of times can hinder our growth and hinder the movement. And we definitely want to stop some of that. And we want to start getting people to be able to focus on who they are and where they are. 100%. Because that's when you are at your most powerful. That's when you are at your most beautiful. And that's when you make the best contributions. All the time. This is not a sometime thing. This is an all the time thing. And we want to be able to find ways to put people in positions where they could do their best work at all times. At all times. Doing your best work. So, I'm going to do the toast and then we can start talking about this survey. Got one more thing to post up and then we're moving on. Thank you for bearing with me. One last place, and then we up and popping. I don't know what's going on with the live chat on I don't know what's going on with my live chat as far as Spreaker. Can you turn that down a little bit, please? Kind of throwing me off a little bit. All right, so my computer done froze on me, so we'll let it freeze up and do whatever it does. Unable to process your request, please try again later. What kind of madness is that? This is a Chromebook. Damn, the whole damn thing crashed. Somebody out there, but hey, it's cool. Now, for all those that are new, here at Gye-Nyame, one of the things we definitely do, we have decided to take our days back. So we label the days after the Nguzi Sapa. So today is Imani, and while I'm here, let's give all of the Imani babies a round of applause. I I'm getting my thoughts together, and family, we will be, I repeat, we will be putting out some type of course talking about understanding the days, the principles that go with those days, and how they line up with helping you find out more about yourself. Because our ancestors left us some information that's just ridiculous, and a lot of times we don't take advantage of that information. And I'm one to say, hey, we need to stop that. We need to stop that. So now let's get straight to this toast, and then we'll have our discussion. Lines will be open for those that are out there, 614-556-4535. Once again, the number is 614-556-4535. So, first, now, also, let me mention this. There's a concept that Yvette Carnell spoke about, and that's kind of the lane that we were already in. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been doing this for 3 years. It's called lineage therapy. One of the major pushes within this whole reparations piece is making sure that people are able to process the trauma, deal with the trauma. We deal with this by looking at the proverbs, the quotes, that's that wisdom mining, learning how to look at the ancient folk tales and stuff like that, and as well as getting to the point of creating folk tales for ourselves now, so that we could work out some of the trauma. But we also daily toast our personal lines, our ancestors. Now, I posted something up on YouTube from the elder James Smalls. I ran into a brother from South Africa. I told y'all about this yesterday. Ran into a brother from South Africa, and he did an interview with James Smalls, and he particularly wanted me to see this video. So I went, and the next day, this was on Kaumba, yesterday morning, I got up and I watched this video, and I was blown away. As a matter of fact, I think I might need to share the video, because he talks about the generational piece that we talk about here on Gye-Nyame. We are a generational people. We come back in the same bloodline. This is why it's so important that we work out the trauma, that we work out the issues that we have within our families. This is why we need to take advantage of the moment. This is why we need to review in our minds some of the lessons that were left by our ancestors. And the ancestors, in many cases, just don't have to be individuals in your bloodline. It could be loved ones that were around you, that were invested in you, and be able to go through some of the stuff and some of the lessons, so that you constantly remind yourself about who you are, and be able to truly invest your power in the moment, because our ancestors sent us power so that we can do what we need to do in this moment. Because if we don't handle our business in the moment, we are putting the future generations at risk. So we have to understand the importance of what's going on for us. This is deep. This is a lot deeper than a lot of people want to make it. Now, I don't know if my chat is down. I don't know what's going on, but I want to make sure everybody is getting everything. And I don't know what's up with my speaker right now. Hopefully I'm still coming through for you, Brother Fred, if anybody else is out there. You know what I'm saying? If we have some new people up, go and post your stuff up so that we can see it. Let us know where you're from. And with that, welcome to the tribe. But once again, check out that G&J, that free G&J e-course. Find out about us. What the hell is going on? All right. I'm going to take that speaker off because I don't know what's going on with that. Let's go back. Hopefully the chat will work. look like my whole computer, I'm losing signal for some reason. I'm losing the Wi-Fi. So if you are commenting, I can't see it right now. I apologize for that. But it is what it is. We're going to make it happen anyway, right? That's what we do. All right, so shouts out to Miss Kim. Shouts out to Miss Kim. Now, I got some of the conference on YouTube so that y'all can see. Also, the best stuff is on Spreaker. For some reason, Spreaker never lets me down. I'll be bugging. I'll be like, go ahead, Spreaker. Spreaker be kicking ass. All right, but here we go. So first, giving honor to creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We lift up our glass. We salute that creator. And we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move to our list of our ancestors, our illustrious ancestors. And we read their names out loud and we say them. Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert Texana Davis, Herman Brown, Sr., Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William Walter, Christopher Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvara Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallara, Montague Pittman, No More X, Pet Mott Ram, Malika Fakor, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Ella Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulling, the Luxter brother, Missy the Books Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rendelman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Meldale Hodge, Meldale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Vita Farmer, Augusto Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, The Oldest Hasbury, Harry Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ada Johnson, Flores M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selden Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sergeant Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Gray, Spacey Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amitep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas Alula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Franklin Russell and David, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Peter Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Sterling Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Dowdo, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Diddy Montaires, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DePretis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Gonna Free Scatterberry, Wilson Haley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Kevin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Pitty Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sarah Evans Sr., Naylon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, No, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg D2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Cleavers, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harry Tubman Kate, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Senior, Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Nitty Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Jordan Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Alice Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Lauren Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brownlee Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekhar Maha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Cofer, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Shawnee Morgan, Sybil Evans McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We also have Jordan Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Shaka McNair. We have Anthony Brown. We have Jonathan Ford and Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shane Lewis, Ronald Sheldon Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joey, Ryan Ross Riggins, Dramonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Michelle McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sadie Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Nisa Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth Elaine Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monga III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Cassandra, Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Al Louty, Sue Walton. I like that name, Al Louty. Wow. Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, Dr. Karimi Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Justin Carl White, Desi Woods, T. Laura Woods Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann White. We lift up our glass for our ancestors, and once again, we send out a resounding ashe. Got the video, but can't comment unless I got back to the toast. Not as tech as I like to be. We'll work on that. We're going to work on that. All right, so we raise up the glass, and we say ashe. For some reason, I am being blocked from some of my sites. It's not picking up the video. Hopefully, we are still on Uber conference. But But even my Restream chat is down. Facebook is down for me right now. My Restream chat is down. My Restream, well, that's still up. That's still functioning. My Restream IO is still up. But we salute the ancestors, and we lift up the glass, and we say a resounding Ashe. From there, family, we move to the present moment. Right now, we are on Imani. We once again want to give all of the Imani babies a round of applause. Clapping it up for the Imani babies. Yes, yes. Yes, y'all deserve it. All right, so now we are on Imani. We are in the moment of Imani. So, family, I want you to activate your reticular formations, and we want to go out and we want to seek out all of the Imani that is popping off in our community, because it's there. We just got to learn how to see. And it's deeper than just people going to church. It's other stuff that's happening out there that has to do directly with Imani. For those that don't speak the language, Imani means faith. Now, also on the day, the principle of Ma'at today is harmony, or the Ma'atic principle of the day is harmony. Trust is what we teach out of the M7. The color is red, as you can see by the Gye-Nyame Journey media sweatshirt. Man, I feel so good to have it on. I want y'all to see the whole thing. Y'all see that? Y'all see the cat in? The hieroglyphics are kind of small, but you can't see them below. But you know, Kwame, that's a gift to the family from Kwame. Cat in means our thing, right? Which is why we have to kind of get into looking at the data of our thing. What are the numbers of our thing? What's going on in our thing? What's going on with wealth in our thing? What's going on with health in our thing? You know what I'm saying? How can we be a better service to the community that we say we serve? How can we be better servants of the tribe that we're building? Right? So we need to get this information out. So I really want y'all to take some time and really think about some of the questions and call in or write in or however, you know, once I get this thing, because I might have to reset my whole damn computer and I don't want to have to do that. But anyway, it is what it is. So we raise up our glass for this present moment, family, because once again, if we look at our connection to the past, ooh, you smell good. It must be that top. That cork top. Anyway, if we look at the past, right? Our ancestors are, in a sense, rooting us on and sending us energy. As we send energy, we are in an energy exchange with our ancestors. And our ancestors are giving us energy to be active in the moment. Also have left us wisdom that all we got to do is take some time to dig it up and do the research. And we got all the answers that we need right there, right? For whether we talking about reparations or whether we talking about some personal issues in our lives, the ancestors are basically already laid all the answers down. All we got to do is be willing to get dirty and do that wisdom mining. Because you know, whenever you do any type of mining, it's going to be dirty. You got to get through a lot of the dirt and a lot of the stuff that you really don't need to get down to the treasure, right? So in this moment, right, we have been given the energy to move forward. Understanding that if we don't handle our business in the moment, we are putting our future generations in jeopardy. In a lot of cases, our time is not our own. Our time belongs to our children. It's the trail that we're blazing. We got to clear it out so our children don't have to go through the weeds and the hard parts that we had to go through. They need to be on to other adventures where they have different challenges that they have to conquer. They don't need to have to take the time in their life to overcome some of the shit that we didn't handle. So we raise our glass up to this moment. We embrace this moment. We take the responsibility of this moment, right? We take the pact that's within this moment with our ancestors and the pact with our future generations. And we raise our glass. And you know what we say? Damn right, I say. And from there, family, where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? All right, from here, family, we move to our future generations. Of course, we toast our children, our children's children, all the way unto infinity. And we toast and we say, I say. From there, family, where do we go? We go to all of our relations. We raise our glass up to all of our relations and we say, Ashe. From all of our relations, family, from all of our relations, right? We move to that selfish toast. This toast is for you. What is it that you need in this moment so that you can move closer to your greatness, closer to who and what you are supposed to be in this lifetime, in this moment? What do you need, right? We lift up the glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, last but not least, I toast the most magnificent, the most marvelous, the most upstanding, the most outstanding, the most introspective, the wisest, and the strongest individual in the room. I raise my glass up to you, and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years, and I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to play a little bit of music. We're going to play a little bit of music so that I can have some time to see what's going on and get this stuff set back up. Let's do Brother Malik. He's got my favorite partner with a humble diggy. He don't Abdul is about to come. The rhythm that I give him and the wisdom that I drop, can't stop it, can't top it. Take a listen, something ethereal, quite literal, more advanced than fiber optics. The truth that I flip may cause inflictions. I rip the strip of conviction. I mean this. Alright, I grip the mic like the kind of fiendish. Malik A will only super genius in science and mathematics that allow me to say this. Not an ego, let's say we go back to Uranus. You rock us, Uranus, leave the chaos and confusion. Stimulating the five senses is not a mere illusion. Love and wisdom is all put it together like fusion. Soldiers poised is out to give a new world a contusion. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down on Helen from the sun. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down I am the sum of none but one, composed of 6 gods in the mix. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down on Helen from the sun. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down I am the sum of none but one, composed of 6 gods in the mix. Heretics and some critics, they say we rank first. We're not the baddest of the bad, nor the worst of the worst. We strive for some ornament in harmony with the universe. So whether we're unmovable like Mount Kilimanjaro, Africans will laugh again, so I say no sorrow. We are the people of the day before yesterday. We are the people of the day after tomorrow. I have a dream someday that our youth will be walking down the streets, contemplating, nibbling on ginseng root, giving hell to those who aren't hard for sure, but for sure. Pretending what you hadn't thought but said and didn't know. Claiming sex, throwing up gang signs, society's got you snared. What the hell is that sign language? For the spiritually impaired, I'm not a player hater, I'm just a player fader. What goes around comes around, vengeance is mine, I'll catch you later. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down, I'm Helen from the sun. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down, I am the sum of none but one, composed of 6 gods in the mix. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down, I'm Helen from the sun. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down, I am the sum of none but one, composed of 6 gods in the mix. No man shall get the best of me, one man's the great test of me, the part of me that strives up against to pull up the rest of me. Conquering selfish, true manifest destiny, and good reflects this. As I become more mindful, godliness pierces the blindfold, and I take it to the 9 so you can't check this. I pumps courage to the chest, when suckers come for test, and when they come for test, there's no need to press a 9. I've got to buck a sucker with great outflux of the mind. My clairvoyance is a product of mind sight, creating foresight instead of hindsight. My buoyancy is a reflection of my hardship. I've been through much, and I'm beyond death. My legacy is a reflection of my godship. I hold a tight grip until my last breath. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down, I'm Helen from the sun. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down, I am the sum of none but one, composed of 6 gods in the mix. No gimmicks, just a few turntable tricks, executed by DJ Superman top notch. More vision than Black Watch, he steps upon the heads of DJs like a quick game of hopscotch. Wherever the top drops, then we must begin with musical sustenance. True that comes through the eye of the storm, though cosmic in fact. This child's tracks are produced in his humanoid form. We are the sum of none but one. Beware the 6-pack coming down.
So with no further delay, let's give him our undivided attention and let's receive Brother Minister Nuri Muhammad with a warm round of applause. All praise is due to Allah.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, family. In the name name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is indeed his messenger. I'd like to greet my brothers and my sisters in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. How's everybody today? All praises are due to Allah. I'm doing well myself, striving in Allah's name to make my word my bond. Thanking Allah to be able to celebrate a Savior's Day. To actually have met a Lord and a Redeemer for the black man and woman in the whole world if they only but understood. And I'm talking about the greatest black man that has ever lived other than God himself, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, Columbus most dangerous up in here for the year 2014. Yeah, Grime Life Entertainment. It's got you calling on your Jesus. Stomach full of pork chops. Wake your body to sleep, it's getting weak. It's time I wreck shop. The enemy keep you scripture from the scripture. Virgin in the picture. You think you would never disgrace. He got you display. You see the picture. Vision it clearly. Maybe too many not to hear me. Chastisement divinely coming from Allah so severely. Rain, snow, hell, and earthquakes. The world will shake. Let's watch these white devils fall. Death is your fate. Vanilla killer, cause it's judgment day. Ain't no escaping, burning hot. It's about time you pay for slavery. Look what you did to me and other black people. Made us to live inferior. Treat us like we ain't equal. Tricked us with Christianity. Taught us about a trinity. Plans to lead us to hell. Blind with no unity. If you and me wanna break these chains, united we stand tall. There's no you in Elijah's final call. We must follow his teachings. Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite white folk gon' pay. For the way she did a black slave, simple Lord. In a rage, look me the front page. A lot of devils, filling up the graves. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. No, vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. See what's wrong with the way we live? Crazy spitting and fornicating with crazy women. It's crazy ignorant. You programmed to make me ignorant. Just sit down, have a seat, homie, and pay attention. BT wants you to see the cars close and bling. That's what they show you to program you just to want these things. To make it worse, they even show you how to go and get it. Get you a pot and some water, jump on the stove and whip it. Guess you don't understand the reason why you wearing chains. Cause you still a slave, it's different, yet it's still the same. They blowing up our buildings, they poisoning our food. They poisoning our mind, we sick and we ain't got the flu. But you don't got a clue, cause you addicted to Jerry Springer and Dr. Rose. Whatever they got to do, we killing each other, thinking it's what we gotta do. The end is near and it's coming soon. Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite white folk gon' pay. For the way she did a black slave, simple young. In a range, look, we the front page. A lot of devils, filling up the graves. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. No, vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. We in these last days, they still don't wanna give us reparations. And they still don't wanna offer us the land to build the black nation. So we can show that we started civilization. The first created on earth, take it for what it's worth. This is God, so if you give it, you take it. Well, here's the problem. The real hurt you, it's power we get, or else it gets worse. Hearts will burst. You even got the nerve to wanna integrate. Who does that? Sleep with the enemy. That's a fool's fate. Take heed to the lessons taught by Elijah Muhammad. Drop the Christian faith, accept Allah. Become Islam, believe in his prophets. Believe in the oneness of the Almighty. He's present with us, so wicked and slimy. White man, he blinded. The time's up. You try 6,000 years, no more love. You can't duck. The disaster was struck. That shit good fuck. So keep your false preaching. Save us all from your brief the final call. Listen, Muhammad spirits. We must follow his teachings. Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite white folk gon' pay. For the way she did a black slave, sent the Lord in a rage. Look, we the front page. A lot of devils filling up the graves. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. No, vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away.
One more minute, family.
You wear the six pack coming down the track like that. Check it. Check it, mic 1, 2. The 6-yard train coming through. Quicker than a Pentium data for the next millennium. Spirit informs, no conforms to the norms. Dropping bombs, let it, said it, meant it. Here to represent it. Some live off the label of the old school, mold you, and that's the trend. What I tend to see, the new jack ain't new. In fact, just bitten pieces of the previous. Recycling fragments of rubble from my somewhat familiar voice. And so many MCs and so hard to touch. This won't make me popular. Lyrics that appeal and flat to you. I myself, I'm just as accurate as Doppler. I'm rocking ya. Spiritual slip and sopping my flyer love and it goes, hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. I said I go. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Dearly beloved, we were gathered here to bring up the real peace of hope. We check no more tears for fears when I'm chucking my spear. I'm not stupid, set by the door waiting for the big score while you're trying to get yours from the capitalist war. In the red, white, and blue haunted stacks and minutes, she shimmy, you follow the swallow users. Not the producers, consumers, consume propaganda's got me fuming. My people are doomed. Power to the people, power to the secrets. Instead, we're reduced to amps and speakers. $200 speakers, acquisitions of designer suits, Benz and Lexus, lateral sexes, sport utility trucks, and such with slaves to a quick buck. We run them up. How far can we run when we're stuck? The race is won by wisdom, not muscle. Still, we all struggle. Should be excused the hustle for instant gratification, perpetuation of cultural mutilation. Y'all, hey. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey. I go. I said, hey, y'all, hey. Hey, y'all, we should be reaching for Orion. Instead, we have a love affair with dying. Getting drunk till we fold, and gold till we flowed. Cause the superficial high suffice for the lows. No time for idle. Introspection and life lessons are everyone's Quran, Torah, Bible. Gluttonous eats the feast, the true purpose of eats. The temple falls off from foreign chemicals, toxins, and meats. You call food enriched when it's stripped of nutrients and bleach. I'm not meant to be free when flesh no band-aids on meats. Every day this flash European contract with Greece. What would Ebonics do for the disenfranchised? Mumia gets no justice cause Mumia is despised. The worst discrimination versus racism will never be tied. English the bastard language of the so civilized. A different right tongues is what the Western language gives. So is it really English like a double negative, yo? Hey. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey. I go. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey.
Hey y'all, hey! Man, family, man, I am back. Lines are open, 614-556-4535. Once again, that's 614-556-4535. Make sure you get on. Make sure you get on. Let me say it again. Make sure that you get on the Black Signal, because we never know when Brother Mahathir might finally just go over the edge and just say just a little bit too much. And I am not allowed to broadcast over these platforms. So please text the letters GNJ to the number 25456. That is called the Black Signal. Once again, text GNJ to 25456 for those that want to get your ancestors. Those that want to get their ancestors on the toast list. Hit us up on our Facebook page. Inbox us on YouTube. Wherever you listen at, drop it. Because right now I have everything back up. It took me a second, but I got everything back up. So you go add your ancestors to our list. Family Kwanzaa is coming. Of course, we're gonna be raising funds because we got to go on and get some pages in the Kwanzaa, the annual Kwanzaa book. Last year, Gye-Nyame Journey, we might have had about 3 to 4 pages, and at least 2 of those pages were for the toast. Now we have enough for 3 pages. We're almost. We need a few more people, a few more ancestors' names, but of course, you know we're going to have to pay for that. So family, please support the journey. I put the text up there for the, you go to gnjmedia.live/tip. Go on and tip us up. Let us know. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what you think. Newsletter will be coming out. I'm going to be working on that a little bit today. I got a couple of articles that I have to correct. I got to shake some people down to make sure that I get the articles that are old. I had one person respond when I said, where are my articles at? They said, in your ass. I said, okay. All right, you know. Sometimes work can be hard. You know what I'm saying? It can be hard. I don't know why they want to try to hurt my feelings. I'm just trying to do the work of the people. Right? So now, the question today is, what is our data here in Central Ohio, here in Gye-Nyame, whether it's national or international? What is our data? We need to be able to take time to take a look at what we have. And in order to do that, we got to come up with a survey. Now, I want to put out a survey. It could be a simple survey. It could be a complicated survey. But I'm going to need the help of my family out there to come up with some of the other questions, because there's some other information. It's some other information that people are going to want to know. Those of you that are in the tribe, what information do you want to know about some of the family members that we don't even, that we might not have met? What is some of the information that you want to know? Now, this is going to be a survey, and the survey is not going to have the people's names. So, because I'm asking questions about income, I want to know where we really stand when it comes to economy, when it comes to wealth, when it comes to salary, when it comes to investments, when it comes to retirement accounts. See, and we have to take time to be honest, and I think that by shouts out to Sister Navita, by us being able to be honest about this stuff, right? Because we don't have to put our name on it. I don't have to feel embarrassed, or I'm not trying to front. Because when we send this out to you, we don't need you to front. We need the truth. We need to really be able to see where we are as a group, because it's good that Antonio Moore could throw up the data for the national data that has been collected. But what about the data that has been collected by Gye-Nyame tribe? Does the data match? This is the question we have to ask, because we got to be critical on all levels.
You can do local data.
Local, exactly. You can do local data, but what type of questions? This is Sister Navita on the line. What's going on, Sister Navita? Hopefully, Sister Tiandra will call back in. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling, just doing my thing.
I'm late tuning in. My son had called, and another person I know who called from from the plantation. So, I got to try to support my brothers doing unnecessary time. So, with that being said, I didn't get to see some of the questions, but like I watched the documentary 13, and they talked about that black people are approximately, this is their stats, 13% of the population and almost 80% of the incarcerated. So with that stat, I wouldn't mind doing a local stat of maybe, even if it's just out of 500 people, how many people have a loved one incarcerated or that has been?
How many?
And I would like in the city of Columbus, because they say Ohio is one of the worst states for incarceration. We got the highest prison population in the United States.
Now, say that question again. How many people?
Well, have loved ones that are incarcerated or have been incarcerated.
Don't say home with me no more.
Because Ohio, like I said, has the highest prison population in the United States.
Ohio?
So I'd be interested to see, just even Columbus alone, which I probably know what it is, what the numbers would be on that. What percentage?
Because
Sure, it's high.
Say again?
I'm sure it'd be a high number.
Hey.
And I guess we would have to narrow down loved ones. I don't know, see, and that's the thing. Because when they say people do their statistics, you don't know how if they say loved one, you don't know if they surveyed people who had, a parent or a sibling, or if they went as far as, a cousin, a close friend, So
on
you
this
don't know how
survey,
to get their numbers.
On the survey, we could have with this selection, one, if they click a loved one, we can have them identify whether it's the mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, or friend. We can go on and separate that out. I mean the way some of the tools that we have, if we are creative in how we use them, we'll be able to see whether it's a direct relative or whether it's a friend. You know what I'm saying? Because I have both. I have first cousins that's been affected.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have other people that have been and I have my best friend right now is serving a bid. And then I got to turn around and be abused by the fact that a motherfucker get 10 years for murder. I mean, for me, that was a psychological blow. You know what I'm saying? Because all throughout his time, all this time throughout, and this was supposedly a first offense, and the shit didn't roll right. And now, and even if earlier in this bid, this is when that one guy, when Trump first got into office, one of the guys was caught basically betraying the country, and they get this motherfucker like 8 months. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit like that.
I mean, and they stroking our brothers and sisters.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
my leg looks skinny.
I know that's what it's
Stroking them hard.
Yeah, they stroking our brothers
no
and sisters.
Vaseline.
And that whole, their big push on black men is, did somebody call in?
Yeah, I think
I heard the phone.
I think that's Sister Kim. Go ahead.
Is the domestic violence push, because once you get a domestic violence on your record, it excludes you from a lot of jobs. You'll get a job off a robbery. If you have a robbery, you're easier to get a job from having robbery on your record than you are for a domestic violence case. So they love to try to hit you with a domestic violence case. You know what I'm saying?
When did that start? I'm just curious about that. You just taught me something. I did not know that.
About the domestic violence? Yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's a lot of jobs that won't hire. If you look on the applications, even if they hire, sometimes if they hire felonies, there's an exclusion in domestic violence.
Oh, I did not know that.
So a lot of times what they'll do is, like, if a guy, and I've witnessed this myself, if a girl and a guy get into an argument and she calls the police, they will press her to stick with the domestic violence charge, even though it may not have been that serious. She may have just slapped the shit out of him because he was cheating or whatever, and then he hits her back, but she'll leave that whole other part out and then want to drop it, but she can't drop it, but they will continue to come to your house and harass you, trying to get you to get that charge. And then they'll end up putting on the person that was charged, they'll like hit you with 2 domestic violence charges. They might throw a kidnapping on there because the kidnapping charge is easy to get, and they'll throw that on there with it. And then they'll tell you, well, we'll drop one of the domestic violence charges. We'll drop the kidnapping charges because kidnapping start at 28 years minimum. So we can where they go up to 28 years you can get on a kidnapping charge. So what they'll do is scare you so bad with the trumped up charges, but if you take this single domestic violence charge, we'll let you out in 6 months, or we'll send you to what they call CBCF here. You like a halfway house, and then you can go home. So, if they ain't got no attorney, which they say over 80% of cases are plea bargains in this country.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even go to trial because they scare a person into pleading guilty. And then when you come home, can't get no job, And then if you have now they have with a felony, it's a felony. And if you have a felony on your record, you can't get a place to live now. Most cases you can't find. And even a lot of the fast food places now do not hire felons. And I know this from personal experience that I've seen. So, they're really trying to get you to come back. Because the prison isn't on the stock market for no reason.
Shouts out to Magnolia, Mississippi. We got a new YouTube subscriber. I want to send shouts out to all those that are new. Of course, saluting constantly those that are on the team. Let's go on and give y'all a round of applause. I'm able to have the whole crowd now.
So, Navita.
Yes.
It seemed like, and I don't want to get us off topic, but it seemed like what you just outlined is the path that they use to strip our citizenship of us.
Right.
One of the many. One of the many.
The 13th Amendment.
Because
that's how they take it back. So they take it back, and they use these things to take it back, and they use us against each other to take it back.
Right.
They weaponize our women.
Don't leave out that child support.
So, I have one of my relatives, who husband and wife, they had a domestic situation, and she just wanted him removed from the home because they was arguing, and she. Unbeknownst to her, she called the police, and they just charged her with all kind of domestic violence charges. And she just wanted him removed from the home. And she said they kept coming to her house like every couple of days. You should press charges, pushing her. And she's like, I'm not pressing charges. It wasn't that type of a situation. But don't get in a situation like that, and you may have a bitter woman on the other end. That could turn out real bad for you, because I've seen that.
It can. It really could. And so they're using that to strip citizenship from us. Because if you take it from our men, you're taking it from us. So
if you're taking it from what?
When they strip citizenship from our men, and you taking it, they continue to weaken us. They're cutting us off by the knees.
Continues to weaken us.
They weaken us and put us in that permanent third class, not even a third class citizen, like literally an undocumented person. You're semi-documented. You have a birth certificate, but that's about it.
That's about it.
They've
And
had
see,
us in that. Wow.
Even with the child support, which now they want to try to change the law on that, of course, because of all these opiate addicts are falling into deadbeat dad status at the court system.
Oh, they changing laws on it now?
They want. I've been seeing proposals to change that you can't get your driver's license taken.
What?
If you are back. Yeah, I've been reading. I've been seeing if they've been trying to get legislation to get rid of that. Yeah.
Because it's impacting white men. Because it was all that stuff was set up just for us. Those are black laws.
Right. That's a good way to put those as black laws. Yeah.
But when they're affecting others, you know what I'm saying, it becomes everybody's law, and then we got to change it, because that child support piece, man, I mean, one of my partners went to jail for child support, and he started counting all the people that was in jail for child support, and he was like, this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? He ain't have no actual, he ain't have no actual numbers, but there was a lot of people that were locked up for child support. You know, but like I said, now, maybe.
That's inhumane. That is inhumane. I got into the biggest argument a few years ago with some females about how inhumane child support laws are. And people saying, no, a man is supposed to take care of his kids. Yes, he is. But you don't strip his citizenship and strip his freedom from him. That. Creating the child is as a result of sex. So they're saying as a result of sex, that outcome could get you in jail, consensual sex.
Right.
That's inhumane.
And then they strip you with they strip them. Some of them, God forbid, if they're felons or whatever, they strip them of their ability to earn money and take care of themselves. And then they fall short. It's a cycle, and they fall short on their child support. So they gonna get you some kind of way.
They start. So
that's inhumane. In the history of mankind, in the history of humankind, you know how many men didn't take care of their children in this world, in humanity? Come on now. That's inhumane to do that.
Very, very true.
And like you said, then they use our women against us. Against us. They're weaponized. They're being weaponized against us. And a lot of women don't see because you're not going to get. Putting him in jail is not going to get the money, so it can't be about taking care of the children, because a man in jail can't take care of his children. Okay. So it's not about taking care of the children, or they would offer some kind of way to help him if that was the concern. But it's not the concern.
It's just about stripping our citizenship. It's just about maintaining us in this bottom position we in. That's all it is about. It's not about the children whatsoever.
Never has been.
No.
Never has been.
Never.
Now, I have a question. I have a question for you ladies. Now, first off, I want to do a disclaimer. The ladies start talking about the lady first, and I chimed in. Just because, women are weaponized nowadays. Also, but what question could we ask surrounding the 2 points that we just hit that would be good on a survey to send out to those to our tribe members, to those ADOS that are dealing with us, to those family members and supporters that are supporting us when I blast this piece out? What type of question could we ask? I mean, like, are you on child support? Or, would that be a viable question? Are you paying child support?
Yeah. Have you been arrested for child support? Have you been arrested for domestic violence? Have you lost your passport? Because they will take your passport.
I did lose my
driver's license.
I lost my passport for child support for about 2 years. Matter of fact,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I was told you can't get your passport taken unless it's a drug conviction.
No.
That's what I was. Because I just was asking for somebody because I wanted my son to travel with me. Out of the country.
If you
they
have
told
a
me as long as it wasn't a drug felony,
If you are in a rearage, they could stop everything. I caught it up because the first trip I was supposed to take to Ghana.
I know people who they pulled their passport.
The first trip I was supposed to take to Ghana, I was going to take with my oldest son Brian, not Wisdom, but my oldest son Brian. I couldn't go, so I gave the tickets away because I wasn't able to get my passport because of the arrearage. Even though I was paying, but for a period of time I was unemployed, and until I caught it all the way up, even if I was paying, they would not allow me to get my passport. So I went and I caught it up within a year, and I went the next year. You know what I'm saying? Actually, and it was good that I went the next year because I was actually able to stay in Ghana damn near a month. You know what I'm saying? So, even when they tried to work against me.
And see, in that system, it's about suppressing. The object of it is to suppress the black male because, if a woman is unable to take care of her child, they give her welfare and food stamps and Section 8 and things like that. But if a man can't take care of his, he has to go to jail.
And even if DCFS takes your child, they don't take your passport.
Say again?
If you're a woman and you neglect your kids, and child services, if you lose custody, they don't take your passport. To my knowledge, they don't.
No, I don't think so.
They don't put you in jail. I mean, if you abuse your child, yes. But if you physically, you cannot take care of your child, you're indigent, and even and you can't use those services, then they have to put your kids in temporary custody that's the pain, seeing your kids in temporary custody. But it stops right there.
Right.
No, not for me, not for men. But
not for men. Not
but
for
this
men.
is how they attack our community, because you can't have a strong community if you have weak men.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
Or men
So
men
it's
constantly
not.
hiding.
It's not just the men, because you can't be strong when your men are weak.
That's true.
Or when your men are absent.
Or in hiding.
Because we have so many of them not even available to us because they're incarcerated.
That is true.
And that incarceration itself, depending on the length of time you get, that's like PTSD when they come home.
True.
They've been exposed to a whole different life. So now
it's not like it's not like PTSD. It is PTSD. It's that, because that is a very stressful situation. I mean, to always have to be on your toes, to always be watching. I mean, that's PTSD. That's you when they throw you into really being out here. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to be constantly observing. I'm trying to make sure that my son understands. You got to be vigilant out this motherfucker. He be walking around with the headphones on and totally blocking out the whole world. Like, dude, you can't. We can't operate like that. Now, excuse the quote, but in The Godfather,
in
The Godfather, there was a quote. He said, Don Corleone was talking to, I think it was Michael, and he told Mike, he said, you can't be careless. Men, he said, women and children can be careless. Men cannot be careless. You know what I'm saying? And we got a lot of careless actions with men out here. You know what I'm saying? We got to be constantly vigilant, because America has lulled us into this idea of the good guy winning. You know what I'm saying? All the movies, a lot of these movies, this is why the Avengers movie was so impactful and so shocking. And people had to get back to see the final part, because in America, they always teach you that supposedly...
Because the good guys didn't win.
No. Thanos whooped everybody's ass and then disappeared.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? He whooped everybody and left the world in total shambles. So people had to get back, because the good guy got to win. And we believe that that's how life operates. But in life, it's not the good guy that wins. History tells us that. Alexander was not a good guy. This motherfucker conquered the world because
you know what?
He could.
Tim,
go ahead.
That's American propaganda.
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? But they're brilliant in how they execute it and how they use it to get people to stay stuck. Because actually, in order for us to really get what we need to get what we need to get, we will have to do shit that will put us in the bad guy category. And you know, according to the propaganda, bad guys never win. Come on now.
Right.
These motherfuckers been bad the whole goddamn... I mean, since we ran into each other, these motherfuckers have been bad. We got another call. And they winning. They cheating and they winning. So we got another caller. We got a call from 614-403. I ain't gonna say the whole number. Sorry. We got another call. Come on in. 403. Who that?
Brother Fred.
What's up, brother Fred?
Greetings.
What's going on?
Greetings, family.
How you doing?
That subject hit home, so I had to call in. Look here. The prison systems were also created from when they so-called freed us, right? Then they start indebting us by saying, look, you can do this land, but you owe us, and so forth and so on. There's so many infractions, you got to go to jail for that. You a citizen, and you're not doing a sharecropping thing right. We already got you with pencil whipping you, and now we're going to send you to jail because you're going against the infractions of the city, of the citizens, or the city, or the law. And that was also even in the military. Even in the military, we fill the jail. Even in the military jail.
Facts.
Interesting.
I don't even want to speak from personal experiences, but if I can say that I witnessed at least 8 hours. I witnessed seeing at least 7 black men per hour get incarcerated and processed. Within 7 hours, I witnessed at least 7 black men right here in Columbus, at least 7, a ratio of 7, become incarcerated and processed in per hour, 7 per hour. Imagine what that is per week. If it's per hour, imagine what that is per day and then per hour. And you're talking everything from the domestic violence to the dumb stuff that the police can get you on, and the whole world, God. It is a black man is being disenfranchised right here in Columbus on a daily basis and throughout. And this is not some of the issues that I'm throwing out because I read them. I saw this myself.
Right. Me too. I mean, I've spent several hours in the court. Several hours. Years in the court. And when I go downtown, and them people in criminal court, in fed court, those state offenses, felony state offenses, you go down there and you will see that 80% is probably increasing now some because of the opiate crisis, but there's still about 80% people you see are black going through them courtrooms, going before that judge. And once you get there, because the prison system is set up like a slave plantation. Yeah, it's set up just like the slave plantation. You know, you got to do quote unquote chores, you know, and they'll try to make you do some of the most degrading stuff just because they can. I want you to go down there and get on your knees and clean the corners of those headboards or the floorboards, you know, because I said I want you to do it, you know. And they try to break down the black man and his you know, just break him, period. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, they tried, some of them, you know, they work for companies out here on the street and they get paid pennies on the dollars for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's no different than when they was doing sugar cane or you know, what they was doing, the chain gang and all of that stuff. It's the same thing now.
Right. Sharecropping.
Now, I'm going to make a confession to you guys.
But you wait, Sister Kim.
Yeah, I want to make a confession.
Well, hold on, because if you gonna make it to us, I don't want you to think this is a private call because we on air.
I know it's public. I don't mind.
Okay, go ahead. Make your confess away. I'm turning it up. You heard it here first.
My confession is, and I cannot tolerate our people who work in these systems. I have this bias.
For most of the time.
If I know somebody is a prosecutor, and I've had people in my life who were prosecutors, I can't stand them.
And I agree with you. And that's the issue I have with a certain black political figure that ran for office for judge, and she made it. And before she made it as a judge, she was a prosecutor. But black people didn't seem to give a damn about that. And you know who it is?
Who is it?
Should I not say the name, Tim?
Say the name.
Gye-Nyame Page.
Say her name again?
Gye-Nyame Page.
Gye-Nyame Page.
Gye-Nyame Page.
Is one more time.
And I feel as though these people are so conditioned, like everything you said, they're conditioned to be a part of that system and do us wrong and usher us to our death. So that when I interact with them in a social setting or a different kind of setting, to me, they just stink of that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
They just have this aura of, if you move, if you slip, I will actually help you fall down, and I will dig a hole for you to go deeper.
Damn.
Well,
And that's what they do. And that's just what they do.
I definitely want to speak on that, because what that is also a challenge, because, you know, everybody's got to eat, everybody's got to pay bills and things. And this system is so set up, so it's set up that the jobs that we get, those high-paying jobs that we get are those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So then you go in and you got to do your job. So I hate the fact that they got to do their job. And if you do your job well and you get hired, you're supposed to do your job well, then you get accolades sometimes. Sometimes you don't. That is it's a system divided, that's designed to divide us even within our own rank.
I don't see.
Hold on. And I just had this conversation with an inmate just last night.
What you talking to an inmate last night? What?
I have several loved ones and family members that are incarcerated right now that I talk to on a regular basis.
But they can't call it night.
Well, matter of fact, I told you Say what? I said no. I said I was on the phone with just last night.
Okay.
And they told me that a lot of we just had black, what they call them white shirts, okay? The black white shirts, it's one thing to do your job, but they go above and beyond their Call of Duty, like an Ice Cube song says, black police showing out for the white cop. They go above and beyond to show them where their loyalty is. And that's why I have an issue. And he said very few black white shirts ever had their back. But he named one, and I'm not going to, because I know the white shirt personally. But he said there was an issue on the yard with the Aryan brothers versus the blacks. And when they came out to the yard, the COs or whatever I call them COs, they get on the ground. They didn't do nothing to the whites, but there was one black guard who came out there and he ran up on them Aryan brothers. He was like, "Get y'all's asses on the ground." They were trying to get away, so they didn't have to get written up what they call tickets or whatever. But most of the time, that's very rare that you see a black CO be fair, because they so want to impress.
Yeah,
I will argue that.
Yes,
I will argue that guy right there was being unfair. The one you just described, he was being unfair. See, because we got to understand, we've been hired into systems that are not based on fairness for us. So he was being unfair. He was rubbing against the grain because the system is not designed for us. We all know this. We all say this on a regular basis. So when we work in these systems, we got to understand that we are working against our own interests. So that dude was being actually unfair because he wasn't doing what he was getting paid for. Matter of fact, what's his name so I can report him to the white man?
The system is unfair. The system is built on unfairness. Period.
It's not really.
That's how the system is built. The system itself is unfair.
I would challenge
because it's catered to other's advantage. That's not fair. However, this particular person came in and did the oddball thing, which was the fair thing. But the system itself, as we know, as a whole, the system of racism and white supremacy is an unfair system.
It is not to white people.
Whether it's designed to benefit them, but it's still an unfair system. So it's when the person that tells the truth becomes the person that people look at as the idiot or the crazy or the oddball. Is
all
the
I'm
person
saying,
who's telling the truth.
All I'm saying, we saying the same thing. I'm just fucking with you. Two, but I want us to understand the things that we saying, because when we say white supremacy is unfair, who is it unfair to? Because it's called white supremacy. It's supposed to be fair for them. Everybody else is supposed to eat a nut. That's basically what it means. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now,
and that's called unfair.
No, that's called white supremacy. That's called, see, because that's like me and you.
Oh, he's saying because it's a system.
It's their system.
Yeah, I mean, it's their system and it's designed for them. It's fair for them. Any system that's fair for them.
It's, but
any system that's fair for whites and subjugates another, you can never call that fair. Because to me, fair implies balance.
With who? Balance for who?
And that system is an imbalance.
See,
it doesn't matter of whom, because of the system. White supremacy is based on the whites and others.
It's based on them taking care of their tribe. It's based on them taking care of their tribe.
Because if there were no others, then it would just be a fair system, because there's no others. But when you have others,
it's built on the destruction of others and taking others' resources. See, they developed they developed their own thing. They practice it more than we do. So we have to participate in this system. We have to participate in this system. Talking about it's unfair. No, it's doing exactly what the fuck it's supposed to do. What we have to do
is doing what it's supposed to do. It's an unfair system that is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And there's nothing fair or righteous or anything, because the mere fact that in order to have white supremacy, there has to be a other category. And and I'm going for balance. And if the balance is the fair, what is the word I'm using for? Indicator or whatever, for lack of a better word. So balance is the fair. When the system is out of balance, that's why it's called supremacy and white. Yes, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It caters to the white person, but it also, in the same note, subjugates others.
And I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Davida, I agree with you, but the only thing I'm seeing now from what Hatim is saying is fairness is subjective. They created a system and they say what's fair. So they decided, and so they're saying what's fair, and they created this system. So it's fair in the context of what they created. It's not fair in the context of what we believe should be fair.
And what we believe is fair.
But I mean, I feel like this. That's that Urugu shit. That's that Urugu shit. They know that shit's unfair across the board, but they would never admit it. They know it. They know it's unfair.
Once again,
so when you ask them if they would try to be black, they say no.
Navita. First off, you're moving into that universal right and wrong shit. Now, please. See, because what we do is we try to convince people of, how can I put it? Because this is the point. Me and you build a company that is a multi-billion-dollar company. We know that we're going to die soon. And we know that a bunch of people are competing to take our place at the helm of this company. Right? Your son and my son is sitting right there, or my daughters are capable of doing the exact same things we're going to do. We got an Indian cat who has maybe a little bit more skill than our kids. The question is, who we going to give those jobs to, Navita? I can't speak for you.
I'm going to give it to my children.
Okay.
But I'm not going to give it to my children at the same time while I'm trying to purposely, intentfully subjugate others.
But, Navita, now, go back through history. Please. I mean, because we got to be honest with ourselves, because this whole universal shit we got that we think about, it never happened. It never was. It can't exist. You understand what I'm saying? This whole peaceful where we was getting along, all get along shit, it don't, and we hurt ourselves, I think. Because,
no, that never exists.
Right, but so for us to look at their system, and be like, boom, all right, cool, it's good for them. Now we need to make sure that we create cat in. We need to do our own thing. We need to build our own thing so that we don't have to depend on.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is
which was the whole purpose of the Black Star Line, Marcus Garvey's Black Star Line, creating the whole, which to me seemed like the whole mission of Gye-Nyame as well. Like you said, creating our own businesses, so that we won't be so distracted about their system of fair or non-fair, because we will be attracted by our system of community building, community league, being able to support ourselves within, keep our money within.
Now, I will push back on this. Brother Fred, I owe you $10,000.
Yes.
I pay you $10.
Bless you, brother.
Right? I pay you $10. Are we straight?
Yes.
If I owe you $10,000 and I come to you and I pay you $10, are we straight?
No.
No, the contract was O, and if O is 10,000, no, that's not even 10%. $10 is not 10%.
Not even 10%. I'm saying we straight.
It's not balanced.
But Fred, yes, we are.
Yeah.
Man. I put effort forth. I gave you $10. Why are you bothering me, Brother Fred? Would it be considered
because the contract was that you owe, and the significance of owe, we understand that there was a contract. You're trying to renegotiate, saying, "Hey, it's $10."
Brother Fred, stop.
Now, if I choose to renegotiate, then we could be straight. But if I don't, we're not straight.
Would you renegotiate with me?
You just owe me.
Would you renegotiate with me? For I gave you $10. You accepted my $10. I know I owe you another $9,990, but I want to renegotiate with you. Would that be cool?
Well, we
Fred, real life,
probably won't have that amount of time to renegotiate something of that, because it took us a lot of time to negotiate a $10,000 deal. Mm-hmm. So we're not going back to the table. We're not going back to the table.
So, Brother Fred, hold on.
But now there are circumstances.
Your point is what, Hot Tim?
Wait, no. Let me take it one step farther. Brother Fred, why are you begging for your $9,990? Is that considered begging? I think you begging for that $9,000. Now I paid you $10. Why are you begging for the $9,990?
Well, I like the way you see it, but the way I see it is probably different. If I'm looking at the source, I'll find something more like contract as opposed to beg.
Okay, so now
he's not begging. Period.
He's not. All right, so now this the only, because with what you said, I just want to bring it back around, because with Gye-Nyame, because one, I believe in a several pronged strategy. I honestly believe from my study of history that my people are owed a certain amount of money by a group of people that are basically kicking everybody's ass in the world. And I'm saying, give me my motherfucking money. You owe me. I'll take payments. We could work that piece out, but you owe me. So now, I do believe that we need to do some things and start doing some personal development and some personal building. But I know for a fact that this motherfucker owe me and owe my kids. He owed my grandparents. He owed my great-grandparents. And I am going to collect on this shit, regardless of where it takes us. Because I already know, you know what I'm saying? So the whole do for self piece is cool as long as I'm able to deal with people from a standpoint of, there's a debt owed. And a percentage and a large percentage of the money that could be used to build some of the shit that you're talking about, they're sitting on in some of these Chase banks and all these other places that they're hiding this money. They're sitting on our dough. They owe us. You know what I'm saying? So I am part of my strategy is shooting at a motherfucker who has never gave anything. Well, I ain't gonna say never, but shooting at the most unfair, thieving this motherfucker in the world right now and telling him, you gonna give me my money. You know what I'm saying? Now that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna keep on building with Gye-Nyame, but I'm gonna keep on stressing the fact to my kids and also to my enemies that we have a debt and I want it paid. Period. So when people come and, you know, because I'm not against people talking about doing for self, but what I am against is us just allowing the motherfucker. It's like you being, it's like us being at a dice game and the motherfucker just walk in and we all got our money on the table. He take the money off the table and just try to walk out the room. You know, and I know that motherfucker is not gonna make it to the door. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And that's some unfair shit.
Tim, I just wanted to say I kind of got what you were doing. So, I mean, it's good that you did that analogy, but I'm kind of a cut to the chase kind of thinking. Like, we don't have the money and the resources to do for self.
Right.
And what bugs me also is when people want to compare us to Jewish people or Korean or Chinese or all these groups. Well, guess what? They all are anchored by a country. We are not anchored by a country. We don't have connections to countries where they don't have rules about businesses like they do in America, and they can do a factory and pay people a few dollars a day. We don't have that, okay?
That's right.
We can get land for free in the country and build a building or a factory and then just give kickback. We don't have the connections to be able to do that because we aren't tied to a country. So you can't compare us to these other groups. We are not the same, and we will never be the same. We don't have it to do for ourselves. And that's just it.
But Sister Kim.
So what do we do?
Sister Kim.
If we don't do for self, we don't?
No.
Yes.
But now, this the issue. Like she said, she cut to the chase, period. It's like, boom. Because now this is another reason that this show is going on right now, because I said we need to really see where we are, because part of the issue is some of us say we're conscious, but we're not conscious because we don't know where we are, when we are, and why we are. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to do is ask the questions, because this show right now we supposed to be talking about setting up some type of survey.
I gotta go. This is my son.
All right, go ahead. Where we set up some type of survey so that we can go and start collecting some of the data around us so that we really can have a picture. Because a lot of people are like, all those national statistics, they all wrong. So then as a tribe, we need to be able to pull the information from the people that's with us in an honest fashion. Nobody have to put their name.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
I got a survey question is, how many specific black-owned companies do we have right here in Columbus?
Now, but the issue with that the issue with that is, what do we call black-owned companies? Because just from the numbers in Ohio, most black-owned companies only have one employee. So the question we got to ask is that really a business or is that a hobby? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because the whole
a
side hustle. You understand what I'm saying? Most businesses, most black businesses, like 90%, have one employee. So then we gotta beg the question: what is black business then? You know what I'm saying? I'm making just enough to pay the salary of one, because the purpose of business is to generate income. And also in generating income, to build up enough income so that you can bring, my fault, because the business model changed. Because with modern technology, you can have a successful business with no employees. That's where we are now. But then also we got a lot of companies that have one person because they are making only enough money, if even enough money, for that one person. So we got to be very clear when we talk about that. But
that's not a business.
Yeah, it's not.
Really not a business.
So, but okay, I understand that. But so then I would quantify it by saying, I don't know, black-owned industry company, anything that would not be considered the hobby definition, but the business definition. How many of those, and then what businesses do they have? Not only just to see what it is on the floor. So you exclude all the hobbies under that definition. I would be interested in knowing what that was.
All right, cool. So frame that question for me one more time, bro, so I can go and get that down.
How many black-owned businesses do we have here in Columbus that actually meet your definition of a black-owned business, not the hobby?
So you want to say a business is something that has a minimum of 4 employees, including the owner?
We could put something
whichever rubric you want to put to it, whichever rubric you want to put to it.
With you said 4 or more employees.
The interest behind that is that the reality of it is, obviously we're going to find that if it was a whole broad scale, you'd have a one business owners, but then you also have those out there that we didn't know that were running businesses, and then I would be interested in knowing if they were product or supplier services, and then what they would need to be supported.
True.
We know that 9 times out of 10, our rubric is going to find that these black businesses over here have been running business for a long time, may have or may not have given back to the community, may have. We don't know. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We'll find a lot of things that may not be too happy about even the black-owned businesses. But let's find out what they are, who they are, what it is, and what they have.
Miss Tanika.
I have a question I'll give you also.
Go ahead.
About assets. Because you were talking about people with salary and stuff. We can ask questions about assets in real estate. How, do you actually have property that you own free and clear, that you don't have a mortgage?
Property ownership, free and clear.
Without a mortgage.
Right.
Yep.
I'll be interested in.
Because you're asking also about retirement accounts.
Yeah, because
like that. You already mentioned retirement.
Right. And I want to make sure that those people that's just tuning in, Miss Tanika Francis off of YouTube says we might need to look at 2 or more. she got the little emoji with maybe 2 or more. But let's split the difference. I'll say 3 or more employees. Now I am interested in those businesses with the 1 employee as well. You know what I'm saying? Because that gets back to what Brother Fred was talking about, far as us support. Now, this won't just be for Columbus because we have listeners all throughout. I just want to throw a general piece out because what I want to look at, because like I said, family, it's a mandate of my eye to be able to distinguish between the real and the unreal. And I think a lot of us are caught up in an unreal idea about where we are. So the whole goal is we need to snap that so that people can really start seeing why it's important for us. See, because we have had a lot of people when we look at our history here in America. We are America, literally. When it breaks down, we are, because we've been here since the beginning. We done fought in every war. We done did everything but receive the protections of the government. Period. We have not been able to exercise our full citizenship here since we've been here. And what we are demanding now,
we never will.
Oh shit! Listen, you might not, but listen, family, it's about to happen. because the shit is because it's to a point now where look, either because how can I put it? It's getting to a point where either they're gonna have to eat shit or get off the pot, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not going to make us, if you are not going to accept us as citizens, and you're not gonna pay us our money, you know what I'm saying? We already know how it goes down in the street, because we have to, in a sense, get this whole attitude within our minds that I'm getting my shit, and if not, you gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? We gonna have to square up. See, because what's crazy? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know I agree with you. I just wanted to add one more question, and I don't know how we would phrase this question, but I would like to know, how do people stand on changing our name? I think that we need to take the African out of our name. And I don't know if we're gonna go with ADOS. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I do think we need to take African out of our name. It's too broad.
Now,
and it includes too many different groups. And I'm curious, how do people feel about that?
That hurt my heart.
Are you saying you're looking to exclude some to be more specific to others?
To be more specific,
we need a name that identifies us as who we are, like Native Americans.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I didn't know if you wanted me to clarify what I meant.
Yeah, I was in that sense when you said with the African and it was too broad and things like that. Then that would exclude others and specify others that would look like us. And we've gone through, I know in my lifetime, we've gone through Negro, nigger, African American, Black, fist pump, the whole work, right? And all of those seem like we're looking for titles and stuff. I think I don't know if a title or what they call us would make our situation in this uncivil world change. They ain't changed by calling us Negroes or supposed niggas. They ain't changed as far as calling us African or African Americans. Ain't nothing changed about the way America deals with that, with our labels.
No, I agree, and I actually think we're at a point where our name is not about America anymore. Our name is just about us. I think we came to that point when they started calling us African American. It was Jesse Jackson who actually coined the term, and it was more about us. And the name is too broad, and it can include too many different groups, and it's very confusing because we're not African. I know I'm not African.
And she lives in Africa, by the way.
And I live in Africa. I live in Africa, and I've been living in Africa for a long time. And I'm not, and I know I'm not African.
See, and please understand, family, everybody out there, we're talking about something for us, not for them. See, because one of the issues that we have is that we have not established borders around who we are. Every other group has borders around who they are. You can't just play a fucking saxophone and be the first black president or be the first Jewish. You just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So what we are talking about is redefining ourselves for ourselves. This is why the whole ADOS piece is catching fire, because finally there is something that distinguishes us. Now, what Jesse Jackson did was appropriate for the time. We are in a different time now. Us connecting with our African heritage was a phase in us becoming a full-throated, fully developed people. Now we're at a point now where we have to totally identify ourselves and identify our tribe so that we can move through the world with the force and power that we need. Because this is what bothers me a lot about the whole Pan-African issue. I don't see how people don't understand how putting money how us getting resources and getting money will not only benefit us as a group, ADOS, but how it will spread out and benefit the whole diaspora. The whole reason that we don't go and spend money in Africa because we don't got no goddamn money to go spend in Africa. You know what I'm saying? I had to save for 2 years, and I had to have the luckiest job. I got the easiest and the luckiest hookup for 3 years, and I was able to go to Africa. That's why I was able to go to Africa, because of circumstances, because of things being twisted in a certain way in my life, where I was able to extract enough income to be able to save up and go to Africa. But the majority of us are not going because we don't have the money, not because we wasting it. So by us being able to claim who we are, we not only will benefit our group, but our group will do what it has been doing since we've been here and spread out and bless everybody else around us. This is what I understand. This is why I find it hard to believe that I will have my Pan-African brothers and sisters mad because these young people are coming up with a brilliant concept. It makes no goddamn sense to me how by us saying, hey, we are a group, we are a tribe, we share a common experience here on this soil. You know what I'm saying? But hold on, we got a couple of comments I need to get to them. Shouts out to Miss Tanika Francis. Thank you for joining us. She agrees with taking the African out of the name. Army of X, African American confuses people, though honestly, ain't no disrespect to African folk, but it's not specific enough. And the key piece that we got to constantly go back to is that people are talking about for us, because it confuses the shit out of us too. It ain't just confusing everybody, it confuses us. Ain't nothing about Africa on the 1850 census. Shouts out to Jeremiah Wins as well. Then we also have Brother Kwame. He said race type, nation type, ethno type. We need to specify within the ethno type in a manner of speaking. Our car and one of two houses ate my trip to Africa. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we all just one accident, one mistake away from homelessness. Somebody asked about. Somebody asked how was the ADOS conference. The ADOS conference was powerful. Hold on, we just lost somebody. Who fell off? Somebody just. Oh man. All right. Miss Navita, she had another call. But anyway, the ADOS conference was magnificent. Let's just say that. It was magnificent, and the people that needed to be there were there. Even though some people who couldn't get there, once again, getting back to this money we don't have. You know what I'm saying? Some people were just a flat tire away from the ADOS conference. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be clear on that. We got a caller. Oh, Navita back. What you want, Navita?
I'm just listening. I don't know. I'm just listening.
All right.
But I gotta ask a question
because I missed the ADOS conference, and so I'm way behind. I'm ignorant totally. It sounds like it was a good conference. So you said it was good. What happened in it that impacted you?
Now, for me, conferences is less about necessarily the speakers. The speakers are a lightning point around which it attracts people of like-mindedness. I was able to ride up with somebody of like mind. I was able to go and talk with people after the conference and during the conference and during the meal times of like minds. I was able to share ideas and some of the stuff that we're doing here and looking at what other people are doing in other places that's dynamic. Then on top of that, I could go and get motivated by other people when they get up on stage and start talking. So we basically had Brother Tone. We started off with like the Black Agenda. Brother Tone came out. He did the Black Agenda. He laid it out. For those that don't know, you go straight to ADOS101.com and check out the Black Agenda. You know what I'm saying? Then, of course, getting into the needs for reparations and some of the methods of getting reparations. Now, Sister Yvette spoke, and you could check on, they got the live stream that's still going on. You go to that, and you also go, because I got parts of it on my YouTube as well as my Spreaker. But Sister Yvette talked about what she called Project Takeover. We got all these organizations in our community that is representing everybody, everything but us. For some reason, African American and black has been equated with everybody else. You can no longer, whenever, I want you to pay close attention, brothers and sisters, because now you hear conversation, they'll never say black. And if they say black, they never say black by itself. When we are an important segment of the American identity. We are the basis of the American identity. And it's like we are being overshadowed by everybody else. So,
because everybody's white supremacy, they jump on that, they jump on board. And when they jump on board against us.
Mm. Because
that's what they do. They get on that team. Because once you get on that team, you get benefits. You get, as Tariq Nasheed says, butter biscuits.
Butter biscuits. We don't use butter biscuits on Gye-Nyame Journey. We got to come out, you get some extra cornbread. I don't know. I don't want to steal Tariq's stuff. He be coming up with some quick shit. It just right off the, I don't know if
nigga trinkets.
Man, listen.
Nigga trinkets, I like that.
That's what Tariq say. That's what Tariq say that too. Nigga trinkets.
This brother come up with that shit, and I just be wondering, he got to have a room where I need a new saying. Tammy the mammy. Goddamn. He just come up with the shit. I be like,
they had me weak with that Tammy the mammy, boy. That Tammy the mammy.
But getting back to the point, and I don't even know what the point is. But Brother Fred, it basically let me know that I wasn't alone, that I'm not crazy in some of the stuff that I'm seeing. It got me some new data points. They had a sister there that talked about she did a workshop called ADOS Housing 101 that was magnificent, because she showed how for years they have been extracting wealth out of our community through this whole real estate hustle. How they try to keep us out the ownership class. You know what I'm saying? By making it almost impossible for us to purchase or to even purchase where we want to purchase. You know what I'm saying? And she basically laid this shit out in real time, how it's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? And then she spoke about this, because this is another question I got to ask. I got to get people, we have to sit down as families and start really looking at how much of the rent, what percentage of our income does the rent take up? Because at 30%, you are in a danger zone. When your rent takes up over 30% of your income, you are in a danger zone. It leaves no money for it. It starts to eat up money from other aspects of your life. And right now, at the rate that the prices of rent is going up and the money is staying stagnant, you know what I'm saying? Most of us will be approaching 50% very soon if we are not already there. We got to understand, man, so you got that type of data. Then you had a sister yesterday talking about how to use social media, which is something that I've been real big on, because y'all know I'm streaming on all these goddamn channels, and I think that we all need to learn how to use these, because these are the weapons of the 21st century. Just like information is the currency of the 21st century. You know what I'm saying? We're not collecting enough. We're allowing other people to collect and use our data. We're not using our data. This is why I'm saying we need to start developing ways where we are able to extract some data so that we could go on and use it for our advantage. Start training our young people and training ourselves. Because I said this yesterday on my live chat. They with using big data, they could look and tell who got pancreatic cancer by your searches. They could tell.
Yeah, I heard.
You heard that?
I was yeah.
It's incredible.
By what? They can tell. They can tell by what? They can tell.
By your searches, by what you search for, by the symptoms. They have enough data now where they are able to identify diseases. And the question that's on the table right now is, do these companies like Google and Apple and all these people that got all your data, do they have a responsibility to inform you about a possible risk that you are facing health-wise if they are able to extract that shit from the data? This is what we're dealing with. We dealing in a world where a lot of shit is changing, but a lot of our mind states are still stuck. Nielsen's starting to research us. Why? Miss Tanika said Nielsen is starting to research us, and she asking why. And they ain't starting. They been.
Yeah, they did.
They been doing it, and they collecting all the data right now. Right now, all of us right now, they're extracting data from us right now. You know what I'm saying? All of us have a digital footprint. And the question is, why aren't we able to use some of that information? Why aren't we able to collect? Because it's like this. I'm talking to a group that I don't even know. I mean, and for a minute, this might not even mean that you, but I don't even know the financial state of the group that I'm directly talking to. Now, I know what it is on a national level. I know because Tone went and got that information. But what is our financial status as a group right now, so that I could be talking directly to us? What are some of the political needs that we need outside of just the national, but here in Columbus? We need to be starting to talk about that, because family, I am not fucking around. By 2023, we need 3 seats on the city council. We need people on the school board, and we need, and in the next governor election, we need to be pushing somebody into trying to push somebody to run. And running doesn't mean that you win, but you start getting your shit noticed. That's all we need. That for me, all we need is for people to start hearing us say ouch and seeing us starting to throw blows back, and they're gonna get the fuck out the way. I truly believe in the concept of the stubborn minority. And every time I had an opportunity to talk to somebody about that at the ADOS conference, I did. Because it's stubborn minorities that change the world. It's never been a large group that all decided, hey, I think this is right. No. Every struggle, every war, everything that goes on in this world has been pushed and started by a stubborn minority that first was looked at as crazy and is doing something impossible. And that's exactly what we are right now. Exactly what we are right now.
That's the very same thing. What's amazing, that's the very same rubric that they use when they want to say, and we don't like your stubborn minority, so we're going to be the group against you too. And that'd be the same group that you're for.
So I'm like, we need to start using some of the tactics that have been used against us. We need to start perfecting what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you see this, going back to your question about the conference, you see this popping off, because this whole survey piece got motivated because I had it in my mind, but when I seen a young dude in Detroit saying, we already doing that shit, I said, shit, I got to come back, talk to we need to start collecting data on our team. Who the fuck are we? You know what I'm saying? When we talk about Gye-Nyame and people listening to Gye-Nyame and all this, what? You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is not to challenge Antonio on his numbers, but if we believe that's true, then we should have the actual evidence just within our group. That means that the median wealth for our group need to be near $1,700. We need to go on and look at that and be able to stand on that shit firmly, because when you really are able to see that, because I'm able to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to the conference. I'm like, shit, I got the budget on how I eat and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm squeezing out trying to get this computer. I'm trying to get this merch so that I can make sure people know that we have it. Don't even know if anybody gonna support. Can't care. I gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But the point that I'm trying to make is, And shouts out to Sister Kim because she sent 3 people to the conference from Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. Or you might have been in Senegal when you did that. You know what I'm saying? Fam, we international. But the numbers won't lie. And the most important numbers that won't lie are the numbers that's closest to you. So the conference was powerful. And the key piece for me is that ADOS allows us to erect our own border around our identity, around who we are, embracing who we are.
I'm highly interested in that.
Exactly, and in a realistic fashion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Go ahead.
It's just like Native Americans. In the United States we call them Native Americans. I think in Canada they call them First Nation people, First Nations people. So it's an accurate description of who we are, and it's not any different from other groups. Like you have Native Americans, First Nations people. It's the same. We just need to get more people on board. We just need a momentum so we can move forward with this.
Or develop that stubborn minority that people won't ignore, that can't ignore, and we'll just move just because it's more comfortable for them to move with us than to move against us.
I honestly think, when that whole African American thing came out, not everybody embraced it.
No.
And even to this day, not everyone embraced it. It was confusion from day one. People were like, we're African? A lot of people were very confused.
Yeah.
And you still have it.
Oh, yeah. And then ADOS is going to cause a little bit more confusion, but the piece is you got to be comfortable with what you decide to call yourself. Now, as a group, for me, ADOS is cool.
You got to claim it. You are a descendant of slaves. You can't hide from it. Nowadays, a lot of kids don't want to accept it. They want to hide from it. I noticed that with young people, ADOS young people, they don't want to accept it. They don't want to claim it. But we just need to educate our youth to accept it and to claim it and be proud of it.
The resilience, the creativity, the ability to take absolutely nothing and create something. Family, we created. See, and then also another piece that I started realizing, especially in my studies, is that we do it ourselves and we allow others to up certain parts of our history. Like we hear people screaming about Black Wall Street all the time, Black Wall Street. But those of y'all that was raised here in Columbus, y'all need to be talking about Mount Vernon. Because they didn't drop a bomb on Mount Vernon. No, they dropped an expressway on that shit. And the same thing in Akron. And the same thing in Dayton. And the same thing in Cleveland. Because in all these places, you had thriving black communities. Hell, Brother Fred, what year was the last year that the UNIA office was here in Columbus? You still there?
Oh, man. I can't even answer that question. I know that we've been, since I've been on board, we've been in existence since 2014. And I've gone through some personal things that haven't allowed me to really, really build like I want to. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I've seen Columbus and I've seen a lot of us individually, the minor you just said, the minor aggressors in a sense, not being able to collectivize to be able to make the impact that we're talking about when it comes to ADOS.
Oh, wait.
And I'm hoping that what you all are saying now is that the ADOS is probably going to be the strength and the advocate and the voice for the minority title that you used in order for that to come in fruition. I'm all for it.
Now, but hold on. What I mean is, because before y'all restarted the UNIA here, there was a UNIA office in Mount Vernon, and it was right over there by where that it's like a funeral home, and then it's a bridge that goes across the expressway, and that shit was there damn near to the 60s, probably the 70s. So
wow, I never knew that.
And if you go downtown, check this out. Go to the public library. When you go to the public library, look on the steps where they got artists drawing stuff. There is a mural of a Marcus Garvey parade going on in Columbus. We got look at the old pictures of Mount Vernon. Look at some of the old parts of different cities. Family, they have been lying to y'all about y'all history. You know what I'm saying? Here, especially here. They done got us so focused on going other places that we have neglected to look at what we have achieved here and how by us not having the political protections, they took that shit. They took Mount Vernon by eminent domain. They took over parts of Akron by eminent domains. They took over parts of Cleveland by eminent domain. They destroyed Detroit by eminent domain. That's why when you go to black neighborhoods, you're not that far from a damn expressway, especially a historical black community. They ran those expressways and destroyed the commerce of that area. But they want us to focus on Black Wall Street because this is what happened to y'all. No, the slick way that they do it is they do it step by step and through a 10-year plan. Black Wall Street, it just happened fast. The other shit happened very slow. And they kill us, like the sister said, a dime at a time. Back to Operation Takeover. What Sister Yvette is talking about is we got all these organizations that say that they serve black people. Either we get them to bend to our will or we take them over. Period. It's just that simple.
That's a blessing.
Just that simple. So we got the NAACP that say they speak for us. All right, we can't control the national body, but if we get 50 of those throughout the state, and every time an ADOS issue pop up, you know what I'm saying? With the smaller agencies or whatever they are, we could. And that shit is doable. That shit is doable because there's some of
the chapter. The
chapters. That's it.
The membership has gone down. The membership and the energy has gone down because baby boomers are aging out, and those were the agencies, the organizations that they control. So at this point, all these organizations are weak. So you're right. That makes sense. That was smart.
You know what I'm saying? And in many ways, it's slowly been happening, but she blasted that shit out. This is what we need to do. Same thing with the black churches, because what was incredible was that we had the conference at a black church in Kentucky. I think it's called St. Stephen's. And what's crazy about it is they nation building. Because like I said, in that area, he is the largest black employer in that state. If not at least that city. You understand what I'm saying? Why aren't other churches doing stuff like that? We got other churches that's making mega millions and got people in there volunteering, ain't creating jobs. You know what I'm saying? And the church initially for us was a place of refuge and a place of protection and a place to launch action. Now it's just a place we go to.
Now, to your broadcast, I listened to your broadcast about the church, and I wrote a comment, but I don't think you saw my comment.
No, I couldn't see no comments. What was the comment?
Oh, you couldn't. What I commented is when you were talking, you were like questioning, asking open-ended questions about the church. And this is what I think what happened to the church. I believe that the black church adapted an evangelical mindset. That Joel Osteen type of mindset, that evangelical mindset. And when they adapted that, that's when their focus shifted from supporting a community to promoting individual spirit.
The bag. Get the bag. Jesus wants you to have the bag.
Yes.
It says it right here in Matthew. God wants you to have the bag. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word produced the bag, and the bag produced a good life. Come on, man. Because our ministry was never that. It was never that. You know what I'm saying? And,
never.
And now, but then right after the 60s and 70s, we got to understand, because if I was on the other side, I would have structured it in a very similar way too. I would have started finding ways to promote and to get in and mess up the religion. Because think about it. Pastors were meeting in churches. Nat Turner was a pastor. I mean, it don't take a genius to look at black history and be like, we need to get rid of this radical black church shit. We need to get them.
And they did.
Yeah, we need to get them not even to be able to say radical. We need them to look at the prosperity aspect of the gospel rather than the revolutionary aspect of the gospel. And they did.
And they did.
But what's crazy for me,
and that's what has happened
as greedy
to our church, and that's what has happened to some people who are Christians. It's like they're castrated people. I hate to say it like that, but they act like people who are, castrated. They don't have balls.
Damn. Now, but hold on. I'm going to say this, though. In favor of reparations, I don't understand why some of these pastors are not really pushing this whole reparations piece, because you got people that's already going to donate 10% of what they get back to the church. I don't understand why pastors ain't jumped on this. Huh?
I'm not a church person, but I wish a church person who knew church business. Because church is a business. These annual conferences, all these churches have their annual conference. The Baptists, the Kojic, the Methodists, the CMAs, all these churches have their annual conference. Who is bankrolling these annual conferences?
Uh-oh. Well, I think they do. Because, them churches be making money. I'm just saying, they make dough.
Do they make money like that?
Hell
we don't have money like that.
They make money like that.
We don't have, but they
make money like that.
Listen,
the parishioners don't. The pastors do, but the parishioners don't make that. Some of the parishioners making really good money, but for the most part, the pastors' children's being sent to colleges and being taken care of. And some of the pastors' favorite families are being financially taken care of. But the church as a whole, look at the communities that churches are sitting in. The community that churches are sitting in, the communities are dilapidated.
What you describing is the black community from the 70s and the 80s, when you had all these people with the manufacturing jobs. When you have all these people working fast food and Ubering and all that stuff, what money do they have to give to the church?
Ma'am, they're giving their all, and that's the sad part about it. They're giving it all as the pastor is rolling out of the Bentley at the end of the service. They're giving everything, and the pastor is rolling out with a Bentley at the end of the service.
These people are paying insurance policy on their soul. So you got some people that go out here and work just to make sure that they're able to get their tithes in. So if you got, even if I'm making nothing, if it's 150 of us paying 10% of what we have, that's a nice income. If you got 100,000 people doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money. But
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. I just don't see the kind of money you're talking about. You do have some pastors who make money, but I'm saying the people aren't giving the money where they used to give, and maybe that's what you need to put in the survey, because this is me. And I have talked to some pastors. Put that in the survey.
Go ahead.
Who is giving money to churches? Who's giving money to churches?
Who gives
that 10%
Who sponsors churches?
of your income is really tithing.
Who gives?
Oh my!
Yes, some
You'll
people
find
tithe, but the baby boomers who
And
have
what
these
percentage?
jobs, they're aging out. And a lot of these
And
baby
the tithing-
boomers who have these jobs are taking care of their kids, their grown kids and their grandkids.
But you
How
know-
much money do they really have to spare to tithe?
Now check this out. Also, I want you to remember this. You do know that a lot of these people that are dying, a lot of the boomers that are passing away, and even before them, one of the things that they used to do is put the churches on the life insurance policies. Were you aware of that?
I know. I'm clearly aware of that. I know that does happen. But I'm saying the state of Black America today, okay? The state of Black America today.
So you asking a question that we need
Our
to really look into.
Our churches are diminishing.
They are.
Our churches are diminishing. And our churches are diminishing because we don't have the people to give the money to sustain the church. So my question is, these churches that are diminishing are still having these conferences.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if these evangelicals underwriting some of these conferences.
Uh-oh.
I'm wondering about that.
Uh-oh. Sister Kim is opening a can of worms. Good question. Because you know, we don't have the money like that. So I'll go with it. I'll go with that, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to ask, but I will ask the question about do you tie to your spiritual institution and what percentage? Go ahead, Davida. I thought you was just listening in.
I don't think I mean, some people I know tithe, you know, but I think that's more of the money. People who tend to see, like your armor bearers, people who are armor bearers and things like that in the church, most churches that I know, because I have a couple of friends that are actually ministers, and in order to hold that position, you have to pay your tithe. You can't hold those positions in the church if you don't, for a lot of churches. And then, for people who don't tithe, though, when that collection plate comes around, they put something in it. So the church doesn't just get its money from the tithing. It gets a lot of its money, I think, from the collection plate. And if it's just, like you said, X amount of members, and they all drop $5 a piece, you're still kind of coming out ahead of the game financially. Because a lot of these preachers, I know that with some of these mega churches, they don't have jobs here in Columbus, because, you know, we got a couple of mega churches, and they don't have jobs. Black ministers, they don't have, and their only job is being a minister at that church, and they live lavish.
Oh, and
I know the megas are making money. I know the megas are making money. That is true. And you have
but them little ones now. Mm-mm.
The megas are making money, but when you talk about the black church is not just mega.
Right. Well,
and
there might be a
that's what I'm saying. The megas are.
You hear me,
I mean,
Sister
it's
Kim?
not just mega, but here.
That might be a new denomination.
Average church person. You know, I used to be a member of a small church that became a mega church, and like I said, a lot of my friends are ministers, and both of the ministers are at small churches, though. But one thing I noticed that they have in common, well, I'm not going to say both of them were, is that whole prosperity preaching.
Right.
And they feel guilty, even if it's a little bit of money, because their parishioners may only be 50 people. So those people, the pastor typically have to work a job, like you said, because there's only 50 people in the whole damn church. You know what I'm saying? So it's not enough to sustain.
You know what I could do with 50
So then is the church side hustle? Is the church equivalent to a side hustle?
Yes. It's a hobby. No, I mean what? I mean, seriously.
Some people believe it. Some people believe it.
No, what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is, it's a tax-free hobby.
I'm saying the church is a side hustle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For some people, it's their main hustle. For others, it's a side hustle.
I wish there was a church. I wish there was one church in Columbus that was really, really just doing something with the community, for the community.
There
you know, you would just know, you would see it, and then I would. And then,
yeah, not only Kwame's
Kwame's church.
No, see, now this is one of the things that we got to be clear on, right? Because there are, and what we have to do is, this is why we do the survey, because we want people. Maybe one of the question is, are there any nation builder focused churches that you would want to put on the list? Because, like, for example, because the First Church of God, right? That the school that I'm at is behind. They own all that land behind there. They got housing behind there that is being used for people who can't. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're helping a lot of people and shit. They got crews of motherfuckers working up in there. You understand what I'm saying? So there are certain ministries out here that's taking it beyond a hustle and is using it as a tool to do some real building. And Kwame's church is one of those. We got there are churches out there that's really doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Now the object is to find those and to find some way to connect, and also to because in some form or fashion we're gonna have to. Only thing I brought up, and the reason I brought up the church is I don't understand why every black pastor with a black congregation is not saying we need to talk about this reparations movement. Because because they're tied down to the churches signed off really in agreement with the government that they ain't gonna tax the money.
Separation of church and state.
Yeah, you guys ain't you're not gonna promote or demote. You're not gonna, because the black churches are the ones that get the numbers people together and start really balling. So they got to change. The black churches make the people sell out, and the churches say, well, we're not going to go against that and get political, whatever, but they still promote it and still do it.
I'm just saying.
It's amazing, man.
Listen, I'm thinking, listen, if I got 50 people that have been tithing regularly for 20 years, and I know their state I know how they live, I don't see how I wouldn't be pushing for the reparations. Because a church is basically a group. This is what we got to understand. A church is a group organization that is nonprofit. It's basically a state within itself. It's like a state. We don't pay taxes. People pay taxes to us. This is what a religious organization is. So if your people get an influx of cash, where is part of that cash going? I got 50 people. They all make a come up and get $100,000 a piece. It's a good chance that I'm going to have $10,000, somewhere around, let's say $5,000 from each one of them, that we're going to be able to work with as a group. Tax free. So I don't understand. So that group of people become your board members. They become the church's board members, and everybody else become the parishioners. They might not even want. And the board members get paid, but the parishioners don't get nothing. Board members don't get paid. They just get a sermon. Board members don't get paid all the time, Vicky. So I'm like, man, But I mean, so are there any? Nation building focused churches, ADOS driven type thing. Let's see, boom. All right, so family, we've been on here. Unless y'all got another subject, brother. I saw you on ADOS conference, and I'm getting comments. All right, any other things y'all want to talk about before I go and pull up off of here? Anybody else want to call in? When's the next ADOS conference? Oh, shit, next year, man. We're going to do something here, though. Now, family, I am waiting. I'm going to have a meeting tonight. We do have somebody running for a government seat who is in line with reparations. I'm going to get some specifics between today and Wednesday, and I will be talking about this individual. And after I look at the framework and have a conversation, I'm going to come out and support. If they talk about reparations and all that shit lines up, we on the cooking. We gonna be popping, family. Cause I'm like this. And then see, because this is what people don't understand. This is the goal. Not only are we gonna get somebody in local office, but we gonna get somebody in state and national office that's gonna be able to go up and speak our truth. And then also remember, family, always listen, take some time, those of you that have it, just like the pastor at the church we was talking about, I have a tip jar. You know what I'm saying? If this conversation or any other conversations that you have run into from Gye-Nyame Journey, hit up the tip jar. Because one of the brothers sent me a picture just yesterday talking about he found two 20-persons tents. We was only able to get one of them because we wanted to keep some money in the account. But we now got a 20-person tent. So, but all that stuff comes out of our pockets, out of what we raise from the G&J Mall and from other activities that we're doing. So, family, those that have been supporting, I appreciate you. Those who are not supporting, you can hit the tip jar, you can hit the merch store. Just keep us moving, keep us alive, keep us floating. Let me see if there's any other things I need to read out. Oh, next, the next G&J Mall is October 26th, I think. We will be having a flyer out. We'll be sending out the flyer to remind folks about it. And also, I think I'm going to be able to have a giveaway of at least one piece from the Gye-Nyame Journey store. I don't know. My wife just hit me in the head. So, you know, we see how we work that out. Maybe I might give away a Daily Toaster hat or something. I don't know. But anyway, family, I want to thank each and every last one of you for tuning in. I don't want to lose that. I'm going to keep that up. I want to thank you for tuning in, taking time, and sharing your time with the journey. I want you to know that I appreciate you. I'm going to continue struggling for you and struggling with you and building with you and getting better at what I do. And I advise each and every last one of you to get better at what you do. Master what you do, because our community, what we need right now, we need masters. Not arrogant motherfuckers. We need real masters that are able to take young people up under their wing and transfer your wisdom and your knowledge to that young person through generation to generation. Now, last piece. This sister that we may be endorsing, one of the things that we're going to get out of the deal is that we're going to learn about politics firsthand. So you best believe that my young people, as well as some of the older people, are going to be involved so that we can learn how to set up a campaign. Because I'm telling you right now, we are going to take over this city. I can't speak for the nation. But far as Columbus, Brother Fred, you're going to be able to drive and get a ticket and be like, hold on, let me call. Officer, my friend want to talk to you. You can be able to give him the phone. Guess what, Brother Fred? You're going to be able to drive on about your business. This is how we got to lock it down. This is how we got to lock it down. There's a business deal, and we need it. We need to get it. We're going to be able to get it. Family, we need to be able to move like that because that's how everybody else moves. And, you know what I'm saying? And it's like this. We in a competition. It's called a race for a reason. And I don't like losing. I don't like losing at checkers. I don't like losing at chess. I don't like losing at Mancala. And I definitely don't like losing at life. And if you satisfied with losing at life, then stay the hell away from Gye-Nyame Journey because we playing to win, goddammit. So family, I am up. And first I want to remind you, you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty. This is the home of the stubborn minority. The place where your hustle build muscle. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simple production. And we just did another daily toast and talk. An Imani toast, another daily toast. And our Imani toast and talk. I want to thank all of you for participating. And we always strive to blow up your old paradigms. I'm out.